Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you the draft analysis for the Vermilion Cities Zeraoras. This is NCL Season 8. Hopefully my last run in the Blizle division. Ian was considering promoting me. I told him no, I had some unfinished business in Blizle to attend to, which I do. I'd like to finish with the chip this season. I would like to get the chip. I feel like last season I got put up against stupid odds with having to play Darkrai, which I still don't think should be allowed. And then 2 seasons ago I missed playoffs by game, and then my first season here I just got clutched out, unfortunately. I've been close. I made semis, missed by 1 game, and then quarters last season. So I'm hoping this season I can take it all the way, get the chip, and be done with it. Move on to Zebstrika, because all of my friends are in Zebstrika now. It's like APA all over again. All my friends are moved on, and I'm still here, which is why I left APA. So, I mean, I still have Box, Mortal, Tiff, Daniel. There's still quite a few friends down in Blizle, but like the ones that I want to play moved up. This season of NCL is really borked. It's like season 5 all over again, which if you don't remember, season 5 was the season that had a whole crap ton of Ubers. But I'm gonna slide this over here so I don't spoil the team. But the Ubers had limitations. Well, there's Ubers with limitations again. Ashgren got allowed. Libero Cinderace. Darkrai's back. Deoxys Speed got Nasty Plot. That's Protean Greninja. Kyurem Black's not limited. There's Magearna. Doesn't get Shift Gear, Stored Power, or Draining Kiss, but it's still allowed. There's something else in here that's Tier 1 that I can't remember. That was borked. Oh, Genesec's only allowed its drives and can't use Shift Gear, so it's back. And then Megazam with Nasty Plot. Both Megalodis, so fun. Lots of borked broken stuff. Once again, I ended up with a 3rd overall pick. Once again, I traded it because the last time I was up top and actually made that pick, spoilers, hi, Marios, I hit the button trying to clean something off my keyboard. I made a bad choice. So I traded last season the number 2 pick, or the number 1 pick, I don't remember which one I had, all the way down to 15 or 16. This season I traded 3 down to 10. I did pick up all 4 of my my trade partners' free agents, so I have 8 this season to roll with. But getting into the draft, round 1, Megalodios. This was kind of my target. I wanted to try another dragon type. You know, I've been on this kind of kick of wanting to try different dragons besides Haxorus and Hydreigon and Goodra, just so I can get a feel, since I am very good with dragon types. Most leagues are banning Megalodios. I'm going to take Megalodios. I did leave Darkrai on the board. I honestly just didn't want to deal with Darkrai. So I grabbed Megalodios instead. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. But I had this very grand plan with Megalodios and what I was going to do with it, and then kind of got sniped. But I mean, what can I say? Megalodios is very broken. It can run both the Dragon Dance set, the Calm Mind setup set, the Stored Power defensive set. It's got a fantastic move pool, both physically and specially. Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Earthquake. It's a ground immunity because of Levitate. Just all around a fantastic dragon type, and I fully expect. I mean, you look at WWC last season, it ended up in the top 3 kill leaders in 3 of the 4 divisions, I think. 20 plus kills in 2 of them, so I fully expect to have some fun with Megalodios here once I get a feel for it. So But that was my pick. Unfortunately, the snipes started again. I really thought with everything that was broken, and I know you're going to flame me, everyone's going to meme me, Zeraora was going to be my next pick, because I was going to put Zeraora, Latios, just have that powerhouse couple right there, and, you know, be good to go. Unfortunately, Zeraora got sniped. It is on the same team as Darkrai, which sucks, because that's two really tough mons I'm going to have to face off against. I also think there's a team with Genesect and something else borked on there too. I can't remember what is paired on it, but actually it might be Darkrai Genesect as the team, and Zeraora went to a different person. I think that's the case. I think there's a team that's Darkrai Genesect and the other person has Zeraora, and I can't think of what the other mon is, but anyways, we'll see how it goes. Latios having Mystic Fire to hit Steel types coming in as well is really, really nice, so we'll see. Now, what's the thing that Mega Latios fails to break? Dark types. Very freaking bulky dark types. Umbreon in particular is a problem. Well, no more. I finally drafted Zapdos. It's just Galarian Zapdos. This thing hits like a truck. I mean, base 100 speed, base 130, 125 physical with base 100 speed, base 125 attack stat. Fighting Flying is such a lethal offensive coverage, or offensive typing. Yes, I'm a little bit fly, or ice problem here, but ice types can't necessarily switch, except for Ice Ghost can't necessarily switch in on Zapdos. This should just obliterate any dark type in front of me that Latios potentially could struggle with. It gives me a nice pivot core already. Latios being able to baton pass as long as I don't pass stats. Galarian Zapdos being able to U-turn. Galarian Zapdos having Defiant will stop opponents from trying to intimidate check me potentially, because it'll give me a boost to that. It'll stop Defoggers as well, which you'll see later is kind of a nice thing for my team to have an anti-defogger, because nobody wants to give me +2 attack. Thunderous Kick being the signature move, automatically lowering defense 1 stage. So anything that switches in to a Thunderous Kick besides a Dark type or a Ghost type is just going to immediately, it's like taking a Seed Flare from Shaman. You just don't want to have that hit you. And it does get Throat Chop, so that can deter Ghost types from switching in as well, potentially. So, coming into round 3, a lot of my tier 2 stuff that I was looking at got sniped. I started looking down in tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, all that, trying to prioritize where I was going to go with the team at that point. One thing, these are split tiers, so you have like tier 3 plus is 110 or 100 points, tier 3 is 90 points, tier 3 minus is 80 points. So it allowed me to play around a little bit, because Mega Latios cost me 4 points, but Galarian Zapdos was only 160 instead of 180, so I got 20 of those points back. And so I was playing around with my points a little bit, looking for value, and I skipped tier 2 and immediately dove into the lower tiers to try and get some stuff that I was prioritizing. I picked up Vaporeon. It's a nice defensive mon, very bulky, very good Wish Passer, which is nice because I don't have to run Roost on Latios. I don't have to worry about Zapdos getting chipped down too terribly much because of the fact that it doesn't get Roost for any recovery. Yes, Vaporeon not getting immediate recovery sucks as a defensive mon, but you know, Wish Tech is a thing. The move tutor for Isle of Armor has made Vaporeon a much more viable mon because of the fact that you can Wish Flip Turn now, allowing you to pivot. So I now have 3 mons that can pivot. I'm going to pivot and pivot and pivot and pivot to keep momentum on my side of the game. Like, I'm very, very pivoty. And you'll see that continue throughout the draft, where I just have the ability to non-stop pivot for the most part. But Vaporeon being a nice cleric, Wish Passer gives me a bulky water type, to sponge those ice-type hits, which my team was not really appreciating, and just all in all being a fantastic defensive mon for these two offensive powerhouses. Now, the next pick, it's an oldie but goodie. With me having Vaporeon, I did not see a need for Araquanid for webs this time. But I did pick up a web setter. The reason I picked up a web setter is because I want to slow my opponent down, with Mega Latios being my fastest mon. I think, if I remember my draft correctly, yeah, Mega Latios is my fastest mon, so there's a lot of mons above base 110 running around that could be potentially problematic. There's also Scarfers running around for revenging. I wanted to prioritize sticky webs. It also forces my opponent to potentially defog, which if they defog on Zapdos, giving me a free +2 attack, then Zapdos kind of just goes zoom and says, "Hi, you're dead." But I did pick up Ribombee. Oh, sorry, Ribombee's my fastest mon. 124. Latios being the fastest, I wanted something faster, so I picked up Ribombee. Ribombee gives me a fantastic setup sweeper in the fact that I can Quiver Dance and set up that way. I can also just run, Sticky Web Lead. I can run, whether it's ability compound, or not compound ways, Shield Dust, I can't get faked out. So I can guarantee lead webs type of situation. The Quiver Dance set, obviously, it does defog. So there is a second hazard remover besides Latios. Neither of my hazard removal currently wants to run it, but they both can if they need to. Obviously, its dual stab is very, very good. And then it gets U-turn. Everything on my team can pivot, and that's how I like it. So we'll see. I've had some moderate success with Ribombee in the past. Hopefully allowing webs and keeping webs up with Ribombee will allow Latios, Zapdos, and a couple of other mons on my team to, really abuse the hell out of it and take advantage of it. So coming into the next round, I decided to pick up my electric type, and I continued to look at the lower tiers because I did not want to lose out, and I was having some very specific point things that I was trying to do, because I'm going to pick up some more higher point mons here, and I want to make sure I've got the points to do it. So I basically dived down while everyone was loading up top. I dived down to pick up the low stuff, so I could come back. I picked up the Electros, another mon that I've used before, another ground immunity and levitate, barring the Mold Breaker, so Drill, Haxorus, and I think there's two other Mold Breaker mons running around. Kyurem Black is running around with Tetravolt, which is essentially Mold Breaker. But again, another ground immunity. I love the fact that my Electric type has no true weakness. And Eel is just really bulky. It can be very annoying with an Assault Vest. You can run Spec sets on it, which I've done. You can run a Scarf set, which I've done. It's got the physical move pool with Knockoff and Wild Charge and Drain Punch and a couple of other moves that I can't think of. It's got a very good special move pool with Giga Drain and Dragon Pulse, a couple of other moves I can't. Flamethrower. So on the special side, it can be very, very well done as well. Yeah, its speed's a little lacking, but besides that, it just can function as it's a really nice tier 4. It's a really good budget electric type if you need something down low. And with me not having Zeraora, this is probably my comfort pick down low for an electric type. So I'm glad to have it. And hey, look, Zapdos U-turn, Vaporeon flip turn, Ribombee U-turn, Electros Volt Switch, Latios, Baton Pass. Everything on my team can pivot. Let's keep this momentum running. So now at this point, the draft was kind of moving. People were shifting down to the lower stuff while I was starting to shift up. So I decided I was going to start shifting up and trying to pick off some of that leftover top tier stuff that I needed. I still need a tier 2. I've got a lot of points sitting there that I can pick up another tier 1 potentially. Tier 1 plus even maybe with 200 points. I've got my fairy, I've got my dragon, I wanted a steel type. I picked up a mon that I've used a lot recently for a steel type, but have poorly used it. I said I was going to try this without its partner, and that's what I'm going to do. I picked up Excadrill. There are 2 sand setters running around right now. I know Mega T-Tar got drafted, and I think Hippowdon got drafted. I'm not 100% certain, but I know for sure Mega T-Tar is running around. So I could potentially exploit the sand there. I don't pay the sand tax if I'm not the one who's setting it. But I did grab Excadrill. I want to try Excadrill outside of sand and see how well it does, because I have failed miserably with it in sand. And I know that Excadrill can be a very potent wall breaker and sweeper potentially. It gives me a fantastically offensive steel and ground type. This is a mon that greatly appreciates sticky webs being on the other side of the field because of its 88 speed. Putting webs up on the other side, I can just do a ton of damage. Rapid Spin, Swords Dance is a set that can help me get set up and get the speed boost. And, you know, I could just run manual sand. I could just run Sandstorm, Swords Dance on Drill with Sand Rush and go from there. So that is also a possibility, but we'll see. I've never tried Excadrill outside of sand, so this will be my first time seeing what I can do with it, and seeing if I just am terrible with sand or if I'm just terrible with Drill, or both. After that, I decided to dip down and get my grass type out of tier 5. I did not see a whole lot in tier 5 that was really attractive to me, so I wanted to prioritize getting my tier 5 to make sure I had it. And at this point, tier 2 was so picked over, I was like, yeah, I'll pick up whatever is left. So, grabbed Lurantis. Again, another staple on teams of mine. I love Contrary Mons. Serp is by far my favorite Contrary Mon to use. They're very good anti-sticky webbers because you don't want to give Contrary Mons a speed boost. Granted, Lurantis is so slow anyways that it doesn't really matter. Assault Vest, Lurantis just makes it super, super bulky with a combination of the Assault Vest and super power defense boosts. Obviously, Leaf Storm Contrary boosts. It truly is just a nightmare if you don't prep for it. There will be one game this season where Lurantis just pops somebody because they don't expect it, and then I'll be able to clean up in the back end. It happened in BRL, where Lurantis got set up and popped somebody. Did so much damage that I was able to come in behind and clean up. So, it is a defogger. Obviously, if I'm running Assault Vest, defog is hard to do. It is also, with Contrary, a nice little anti-defogger, because you'll give me an evasion boost for free. So, good luck hitting me, I guess. But, yeah. Picked up Lurantis. So there's the grass and the water type for the Firewater Grass Core. Speaking of the Firewater Grass Core, and this is technically a franchise because Ian didn't allow franchising this season with all the new coaches and all the new mons and the split tiering situation, so coaches didn't get to franchise them on like normal for extra points. But returning from last season, no, 2 seasons ago, returning from 2 seasons ago, Alolan Muck was my kill leader that season. Returning from 2 seasons ago, second on the team in kills, Darmanitan. I have been beaten down by Darmanitan way too many times. It and its Galarian partner. Because my teams have no switch-in for him for some reason. Well, now I do. I have Darmanitan. So I'm not going to get swept by one of them this season. I actually think Galarian Darmanitan didn't get drafted, which I thought was really weird. But Darm, outside of Lurantis and Drill, everything on my team can pivot because Darmanitan gets U-turn. Scarf Darmanitan, Banded Darmanitan, Life Orb Darmanitan, they all just, those are 3 very potent sets that can just run up on teams that don't have a switch in or get chipped down, and then Darm just comes in, clicks Flare Blitz 4 times, and the match is over. That's happened to me a lot. So I'm excited for Darm to come back. Again, filling out my speed tiers as well. Another mon that greatly appreciates sticky webs being on the field. I have to be very careful about rocks getting set up on the field because obviously if I'm pivoting around a lot, I'm going to rack up that damage very quickly. That's kind of the downfall of this team is Hazard Stack. Really just messes with it. But next pick. These last two pick. Oh no, sorry, I got 3 picks left. This next pick is kind of like the last pick where I actually cared. The rest of them are just like, it is what it is, because this is all that's left. Gengar is back. Y'all know I love Gengar. I love running Scarf Gengar. I love running Specs Gengar. I love running Life Orb Gengar. It just is. It's annoying. It's got a good move pool. It does what it needs to do to opposing teams if you don't prep for it or you don't have Sucker Punch on your Dragapult. Gengar just is such a powerful wall breaker. And this makes this team very lethal because Mega Lottie, Gengar, and Zapdos fit together super, super well. They break everything that needs to be broke for each other. 2 of the 3 can pivot into the other. It's very, very lethal offensive core right there. And very fast offensive core. Ian pointed out to me that the mons that core struggles to break are Mega Mawile, Magearna, and Klefki. Fairy Steel types. That's what the Zapdos, Latios, and Gengar struggle to break. You know what doesn't struggle to break those? Excadrill and Darmanitan. They both come in and just go, "Hi, Steel types. Our names are Excadrill and Darmanitan. Prepare to perish." So, I don't know. This team is incredibly offensive. Not a lot of defense, and Ian pointed that out to me, and he's not wrong. This is a very hyper-offensive team, which means I have to play it smart and keep momentum on my side of the field. Oh, look, I have so many pivots. If I don't keep momentum to my side of the field, then I could very quickly come undone with this team. But yeah, we'll see if Gengar comes back and rips through with this offensive core. Now, these last 2 picks, again, like I said, I was just taking what I had left for points and what I was missing for typings. I picked up Aurorus, nice cheap tier 5, which is what allowed me to get Gengar. I've got Aurorus in SBT, haven't brought it. I've used it in PBAL a couple of times to some okay moderate success. It's great for counter weathering teams, just because I can set hail and then say no, your weather's not allowed, especially if I kill your setter. I can just sack Aurorus to switch the weather. The other thing is I get Veil, so now I have Veil offensive with sticky webs. Kind of one of those things that I like to do, which should help me with the sheer lack of bulk that I have. But Specs Aurorus, Scarf Aurorus, Life Orb Aurorus, Throat Spray Aurorus. I've got some sets with Aurorus. Aurorus is kind of like my like Lurantis. It's not going to do a whole lot all season, but it might get one game where it pops off, screws somebody up, and then allows me to sweep late in the game. And last but not least, a Huff Special, a Alolan Persian. I've used this thing one other time. I did not care for it, but I don't have a Dark type, and this is the best of the bad situation that I was in. So, Alolan Persian's here to try out until I can convince somebody to trade me a better Dark type. Or I just go pick up a better Dark type. One or the other. Sorry, yawn there. But yeah, Alolan Persian. Hey, look, another mon that can pivot with Parting Shot, which is actually really nice because if I can Parting Shot into something, that could potentially let me get Latios set up, or Drill set up, or yeah, basically those 2 set up, or let Rabombi get set up. So it's nice to be able to Parting Shot pivot as well. But that's going to be the team. Let me know what you guys think of this draft breakdown. If you think I'm going to make playoffs, if you think I'm absolutely just going to get smashed because I passed up on Genesect and Darkrai and a couple of other broken things. But yeah, let me know. And if you want to follow the rest of the NCL season, you can always hit that subscribe button. Greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys next time.